Well, Dr. Russ Pirasteh, thank you very much for joining us today and welcome to Agil.
My pleasure. It's a great pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Dr. Pirasteh, you're an extremely educated and intelligent man. I mean, people will read about your qualifications and backgrounds themselves, but just to give you a quick synopsis, your background is in industrial engineering. You've earned your bachelor's and master's in industrial engineering. You've gone on to do your doctorate, your Ph.D. also in the same field. You got an MBA in industrial management, and you're also a master black belt in process improvement. And for the people who don't know, process improvement is a very highly regarded field in the world of corporate strategy and business. And you've really, I think, outdone your pace by going the entire way in that field. You've also founded your company, ITLS-ISO, and I let you talk about a little bit more about the company. Tell us about ITLS Systems and how you founded it.
ITLS it basically stands for Integrated Theory of Constraints, Lean Six Sigma methodologies together. These are the three top, extremely powerful continuous process improvement methodologies that have been practiced for past 30 years or so. Approximately 90% of businesses today apply either one of these methodologies to make improvements to their systems. But there are some considerations. Each one of these methodologies has its own core strength and has its own major contribution. So basically, you can't just take one system and apply it to every situation. What we call it is a new hammer syndrome. It's just like when you have a new hammer, everything looks like a nail. So you can't apply the same thing for every specific situation. What we have done is that we have put together the core strength of each one of these methodologies, and we have created something that provides significantly higher results by implementation of it. And if you like, we can later on go deeper into it.
Let's talk about business leadership to begin with. So achieving higher levels of profitability, quality, agility, customer satisfaction, customer service, dividends, these are things that every business owner in the world, whether it's a small business startup, whether it's a corporation, whether it's a conglomerate, everybody looks for that. Every business owner and leader strives for that. But we don't see that happening much in the business world. As a matter of fact, we see a lot of businesses fail during the first few years of existence. How do you explain that, and why does that happen so much in business?
This is very very deep, very profound. That's a great question. The main reason is that, in our opinion, that businesses lose focus on what is important to them. They lose focus on what is important to the customer. They lose focus on how they should deliver the optimal results. And it's just like Einstein, the way he asked the question. He said, "What happens if I ride on a beam of light?" He went after the impossibilities. He went after the things to discover, rather than having the question, what can I do to just make my today's financial targets? These are different ways of looking at a business, and different ways of questioning our abilities to be successful. What I mean by the right focus is that if the focus is not on the customer's requirement, how to satisfy the customer needs with the high quality, at the fast speed and agility, that business cannot be sustained for long. And that is one of the main reasons that most businesses fail, because they don't know how to properly manage their projects. They don't know how to manage their businesses. As an example, 85% of projects fail. Why is that? Because there is not the right allocation and focus of the efforts to the right place.
You do a lot of corporate coaching. You and your group do a lot of corporate coaching, and coaching in the corporate world and the business world usually requires strategies and many skills to increase, again, the things that everybody's looking for: productivity, efficiency, accuracy, consistency, control, and sustainability. And your firm conducts corporate coaching in 3 steps, and you name them as training and development, coaching and project management, and also supply chain management, which is a very big part of what I do, huge,
Sure.
every day.
Sure.
Why these areas, and why has your experience been just around those areas? What is the feedback that you're getting from your customers out there?
Excellent. That's excellent. The training is a training and education is a core of anything. If we don't have the proper education, if we don't have the proper training, we can't really be effective in delivering the optimum results. We can ask the right questions. We can respond to the inquiries, and we would be sort of doing firefighting instead of setting strategies, setting tactical plans to achieve those strategies, goals, objectives, and systemically achieving those. So that's really important for us to make sure that our leaders or the leaders of an organization fully understand what is it that they want to achieve from their organization. How do they basically extract the gold nuggets that's within each employee or resources that they have? How do they reach out there and get the gold nugget out of there? So those are some of the things that we start from the coaching, mentoring, and education. And then,
sorry to interrupt you, but do you encounter, as you go in there, as you go into the company, and as you want to speak to the business leaders in the room, in the meeting, do you encounter immediate skepticism and negative feedback as to, we know where you're going with this, we've seen this before, and later on we'll talk about a topic and why I mentioned that. Do you receive a lot of skepticism in process improvement?
Exactly, and this is I would say 99% of the time that is the case, that you get killer phrases, what we call them killer phrases, that they say, oh, we've done this before, or why should we change? We have done this way for past 40 years. We tried it last year, we failed. You hear all those things all the time, and the thing is that it all comes from fear of not knowing, and some of the people may fear that what you may do, you may endanger their position, their political systems, their power, or challenge their knowledge. So it all is fear driven. And the reason for training and education is to brush away, set aside that fear, and open up the possibilities for them, so that when they see the possibilities, they're not going to be afraid or fearful of little things, and they will start to grasp on having a larger perspective on the greater opportunities. So fear is the major reason for creating all those things and basically raising barriers to change or being resistance to change. Yes, absolutely. We always encounter that, definitely.
Communication always comes back as the number one problem out there. Why didn't I receive the memo?
Is inventory good or bad? It's a bad thing. They feel someone else is writing them, someone else is making their decisions for them, and that's why they're disengaged.